Draft pick of the Houston Texans.
Right there. No, stay there. Are you ready? Go.
Here's Smith. Abram Smith now. Good cutback inside the 10. Still on his feet and finally dragged down inside the 5 by meters. Abram Smith, the former star of the Sugar Bowl for Baylor, with a big run.
Boy, watch Michael Maietti, the center, 51, get all the way around, pulling, gets his body on Darian Butler, and that springs the hole for Abram Smith. It is so great to see Abram Smith healthy. He's a guy that has struggled staying healthy. Tore his ACL in 2024, missed the entire season, wasn't himself last year as he recovered from that injury, now finally healthy, and a great 1-2 punch with Deion Jackson.
It was only a few years ago in a Sugar Bowl in primetime. He had 172 yards in a Baylor win against Ole Miss. The future was so bright, and now you see exactly what he can offer. A timeout here as it's 1st and goal. Upset-minded DC knocking on the door again here in the UFL semifinals. DC run the ball well and potentially add to their lead. Abram Smith in for the score.
Thank you, Zuma.
No, he had a great run to put them in position, and now the 3-yard touchdown here.
Watch the attention backside, a safety and a linebacker backside waiting for Jason Bean. That means one less guy front side for Abram Smith. The run game and the legs, at least the threat so far, the legs of Jason Bean is completely causing fits for this Orlando defense as they try to figure out where to put defenders to account for both.
Yep, here we go.
What a start for DC on the ground.
McCrane for the extra point. 14-3, DC.
Let's go. Come on now, let's go. Come together.
Yeah, just simple zone read. There's not much to it, but it's a numbers game, right? You leave one guy backside for the quarterback. You have one less front side for the running back. And Fred Keiss right now, the offensive coordinator for DC, making it really easy on his quarterback. Jason Bean making his second start for the DC defenders in the biggest moment.
You just don't have enough guys to cover all of the gaps. I mean, you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, if the quarterback can't run, we're playing 11 on 10. But now that we have to account for that, we're actually playing true 11 on 11. You can't be everywhere at once.
51 rush yards already here in this first quarter. 2 plays, over 20 yards on that touchdown drive. They had the reception for 21 yards and then that great-looking 26-yard run. And those came back-to-back before Abram Smith then punched it in.
Boy, and if you're Anthony Becht, you got to be feeling this feels a little too similar to last year. Obviously, he was the head coach of St. Louis. They were the #1 seed, 8-2. DC last year had limped into the playoffs, and they got upset and weren't able to host the championship in their home site. Becht's got to get these guys going.
Corbin on the return. Yeah, last year, DC, the defenders were 6-4. They had 2 straight losses. They lost to Houston and St. Louis, and then they won both their playoff games by double digits. And it was Anthony Becht, then the head coach of St. Louis. It was DC who defeated Anthony Becht's team in the conference championship on the way to the UFL title.
And a lot of coaches we talk to, you know, really focus on the fact that this league is for the players, to help these guys develop, to get another shot. But Anthony Becht minced no words. He is desperate to win a championship and take the next step as a head coach to prove that he can do it at this level and maybe a college or NFL level at some point as well.
Corbin, as he wiggles his way just beyond the 40-yard line.
No, Jordan, I was talking to Coach Becht during pregame, and we were discussing, you know, those 2 St. Louis teams that were so close. And he said the thing we don't have to deal with here at Orlando is we don't have to deal with the, oh, here we go again mentality of having the pressure going into this playoff game. He felt really strong about that because he never had to address it with this particular group.
We're good. We're good. Ref. We go. Orlando,
Plummer on 2nd and 6. Pressure came right up the middle, and they're going to say that that is incomplete. Obviously, he was shifting. You heard the rip call as he was concerned about the pressure off the edge there, but it came right up the middle.
Yeah, he sees Bryce Thompson coming off the right side, so he sends the protection that direction to pick it up. But Cam Camper just didn't give his eyes to Jack Plummer soon enough. Anytime your guy over the top of you as a receiver blitzes, you need to peek right away just to see if the quarterback's going to throw hot. And that time, Camper wasn't ready for it when Plummer wanted to get rid of it.
3rd down and 6 now for Orlando. The #1 seed, trailing by 11 early. Plummer steps up, throws downfield to a wide open Hamler. KJ Hamler.
Boy, Derek Roberson is coming off the right side. He's going to apply the initial pressure. Look at the job by Plummer to step up, ball security. And that one ended up looking like a punt because there was a defender swiping at the arm of Jack Plummer, so he couldn't let that one go clean. But KJ Hamler, one of the guys we haven't mentioned because he was hurt last week.
That's right.
And Beck wasn't sure he'd be 100% healthy. Another one of those weapons on the outside for Plummer.
Former 2nd-round NFL draft pick by the Broncos after starring at Penn State. And that was thrown short of Chris Rowland. But the big play to the speedy KJ Hamler has Anthony Beck's team in position.
It's on me.
That was very unlike Jack Plummer right there to make that throw to a wide open slant route.
You know, you get a little amped up from the big play. Your emotions are running high a little bit, and sometimes you just rush a throw like that. This should be a layup.
Impressive start by the #4 seed. The DC Defenders up 14-3 to protect his star quarterback, Jack Plummer. He was a great player in college football for Louisville and has been outstanding this season in the UFL. But it is DC who has jumped out to a 14-3 lead. You know, they played the last 2 weeks, these teams. In the last 2 weeks, DC led Orlando over 2 weeks for a combined 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Today, they've been doing it. 9 minutes and 13 seconds they've had the lead. And right now is Orlando with Plummer having completed a big downfield pass to KJ Hamler, trying to cut into this lead. Plummer out in space to Corbin, but he couldn't control it.
Interesting so far, just talking to these coaches, the game plan for Derek Roberson from DC and blocking him. He's an MVP finalist, 1 of 4 in the UFL. He's one of the best pass rushers there is. And like Joe Wallace got a big hit, Roberson hit Jack Plummer a couple times last week as well. Anthony Beck said they were going to use running backs, use tight ends on him. So far, they've left him singled up, and he's had a couple one-on-one opportunities. Just hasn't hit home yet.
4 years of NFL experience, top 5 in the UFL this year in tackles for loss. 3rd down and 10.
Here we go. Orlando,
Plummer. That is incomplete as Elijah Badger, the former Florida Gator, got tied up with the former NFL first-round pick DeAndre Baker.
And that's that matchup, the heavyweight matchup I said we were going to see all game on the right side of your screen right here. Badger, one of the best in the UFL, going on a former first-round draft pick. DeAndre Baker out of Georgia, drafted in 2019. Played a bunch of games for New York and Kansas City. And if DC's running the ball and winning the one-on-one matchups on defense, it's going to be a long game.
Anthony Beck is talking things over with the official. Receiver, #2, he's past 5 yards. You have illegal contact on his chest. Sorry, I wanted to get one in from the last game. Yeah, so. On #2, past the 5 yard. Couldn't allow him to get to the ball, okay? Couldn't allow him.
Well, the UFL Command Center and Dean Blandino are going to have some work to do here.
I remember in the UFL, you can challenge flags that weren't thrown.
Chris, I'm with you. He wants illegal contact on the intended receiver.
He does, yes.
So, okay, illegal contact is contact beyond 5, but it has to be before the pass. Quarterback is in the pocket with the ball. Now the ball's gone, and you can see down here, no contact has occurred yet. Here's the contact. with the ball in the air, doesn't raise the level of pass interference. It's going to go to just my all 22. Just to confirm again, ball is in the air, no contact. And then there's incidental contact with the ball in the air. So, Chris, after further review, the ruling on the field of no illegal contact stands. Correct.
After review, there is no foul for illegal contact. Orlando is charged this timeout and may not challenge for the remainder of the game. It's 4th down.
That is the ultimate transparency in officiating in all of pro sports. The Replay Command Center, fully mic'd, listening to Dean Blandino, unprecedented access, and explaining the decision-making process, by the way, telling you the why, not just the result. So the challenge doesn't work out for Anthony Beck. And Lance is able to put it through. So 14-6. The UFL playoffs.
Yeah, like, what's the extra? So would it have been a PI?
See Anthony Beck still inquiring about that call. One of the reasons I didn't like the challenge there is because the ball was thrown too far downfield to make it look like the receiver really had an opportunity to make a play on it. So whether it was incidental contact, illegal contact, or pass interference, the ball just wasn't close enough in proximity to the receiver to really argue that the DB got in the way there. And again, remember, no more challenge for Anthony Beck for the rest of the game. Those are great to have in your pocket, especially in the 4th quarter of a tight game. Because of that super challenge, you can really challenge anything.
And when you exhaust it with 13:51 remaining in the 2nd quarter, sometimes that can come with regret, especially when you're trying to get to the United Bowl championship opportunity. This is a Zukunmu, and a flag comes down at the end of that return. Well, DC started red hot. 5-1, had a 5-game win streak, week 2 to week 6, and then the big turning point. Jordan Ta'amu, the star quarterback, was the MVP of the championship game last year, and they've lost 4 straight down the stretch, including back-to-back weeks to Orlando. First time that teams are playing 3 straight games in spring pro football history. Just the 2nd time in pro football history. It happened in the NFL all the way back in December of 1943.
Flex left queen.
The advantage for DC is that Orlando really only has the 1 game of film in this offense because Spencer Sanders started that week 9 matchup against Orlando. And what you don't want to do in these rematches, especially 3 times, is try to overcoach. Try to add a bunch of stuff that's not your identity. Right now, Orlando looks like they're doing a little too much on defense to try to corral Jason Bean's legs.
Well, after the penalty on the return, it backed him up, but Jason Bean scoots out at the 26-yard line. Jason Bean, who passed for nearly 6,000 yards in his 6-year college career. He played at North Texas. Then he was a starter at Kansas, and now gets the nod down the stretch for DC.
Notice how quick he made that decision to tuck the ball and run it.
Yes.
We heard all last week that, man, if it's there, take it. He's taking it today.
He is, Sam. Quickly getting the ball out into space, but nothing there with Kiki QT.
And the dangerous part for a defense is he hasn't run it very often. He's actually pretty accurate on these passes. So first you're thinking, man, I need to try to contain him because he's gonna run it. Then he doesn't run it. He's pretty accurate. Now, like, what do I do? Do I contain? Do I rush the quarterback? That's a tough part about being
spread right, spread left, spread left.
Opportunity for the Orlando defense. A 3rd down and 6.
This is where the pass rush for Orlando cannot get deeper than Jason Bean and allow him to step up and run through.
Bean's going to run straight ahead, and he will have the 1st down.
Boy, watch how confused Orlando is as they're late getting aligned, and there is nobody in the A-gaps right before this. The perfectly called play. Just a little quick quarterback draw, and I like that he didn't Usually you're taught to kind of delay and wait a tick, look like you're passing. That time he saw the opening, took off right away, was able to pick up the first down.
This is Azukamu. So he makes it just beyond the 35-yard line.
Flex left. Flex left. 29. No, hold on.
Already, Fred Kais feels like he's in a really good rhythm with his new starting quarterback. Remember, just the second game. They're working together as starter play caller. And he's doing a great job of mixing up the easy layup, quick game throws for Bean and the opportunities to use his legs.
And test the other side in space. Azukamu, and he is just tripped up. And that will move the chains for a first down.
And these are all called run plays with a built-in pass on them. And Jason Bean has just come to the line of scrimmage and seeing, okay, you only got 2 guys out over the 3, or you only got 1 guy that's splitting the difference. If you have green grass, he's going to take that and throw it every single time.
29 Packer.
So you're right about Orlando, though, Jordan. They're discombobulated.
Yeah.
They can't get lined up along the front. They're lunging in open field tackles. That should have been a 3-yard loss.
Yep.
You got the run, Beanie. Hand it off.
Valladay, who had a touchdown run last week in the matchup of these 2 teams, tackled for a loss. That was Jason Taylor, the former Oklahoma State defensive back, with the tackle.
And Jason Taylor, one of those guys they signed at the end of April. This Orlando team has actually had a lot of injuries, but credit to Anthony Becht. He's kind of gone off the beaten path of evaluating talent. Guys that weren't really on the radar. Jason Taylor, one of those. Kanai Magwa, another guy, a linebacker that's starting now after getting signed 3 weeks ago.
He had 9 tackles a week ago. Bean with time, downfield strike, and it falls incomplete. DJ James was there defensively.
Boy, I know I sound like a broken record, but Jason Bean once again staring this down. Keyshawn Banks is right there. Not Keyshawn Banks, excuse me, Dequan Jackson.
Got there early.
He's got to be careful throwing that in over the middle of the field, not looking any defenders off. And now, third and real long.
Third down and 12. They're 5 of 6 on third down today. Bean pressured as he throws, and that falls incomplete before Nate Meters could get to it. Keyshawn Banks was applying pressure on Jason Bean.
And he's just going to take Wettig, the right tackle, straight into the face of Bean, who's trying to take the one-on-one matchup on the outside with Braylon Sanders on a little double move. It wouldn't have been there. Coverage was great, but that time Orlando rolled the dice a little bit, brought the blitz, forced the issue for Jason Bean.
Paxton Brooks on to punt away. Had a punt blocked a week ago. Chris Rowland, one of the best return men in the UFL. And it's a scatter, and it retreats, and it's an outstanding bounce for Orlando. So the #1 seed Orlando trailing by 8, but with the ball after we come back with these messages and a word from your ABC station, United Bowl.
Come down, come down, come down. Hey, hot Springer, hot Springer, hot Springer. He's gonna cross your face. He's gonna cross your face. Toro. Orlando, touch.
Dotson, as he is tripped up, making his way to the 44-yard line.
And there's Andre Mintz, a guy that was just signed, we mentioned earlier, out of retirement. He's working a real job in Baltimore. He's taking his paid time off. Coach Shannon Harris texted him last week, said, hey, you got 2 more in you for a playoff run? He said,
we
absolutely.
asked Shannon the other day, we said, well, what's he been? He's like, he's had an awesome week of practice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, he looks great. Dotson again breaks the first would-be tackler and then lowers his shoulders past midfield inside the 45-yard line. A really good run by Elijah Dotson.
Well, Mintz is here trying to set the edge right there, but it's going to be the secondary player that's just going to miss. Who was that? Yeah, Brandon Smith just missed on a tackle right there, but they brought Mintz in because obviously Derek Roberson, best pass rusher in the UFL, or one of them, him and Cam Gill for Louisville. They needed another guy on the other side to try to make Jack Plummer uncomfortable.
Play action after the 12-yard run, and that is complete. with defensive backs converging. KJ Hamler, who had the big reception earlier, comes up with another.
Well, I just talked about getting pressure on Jack Plummer. There is no pressure here. Watch how wide this pocket is. Jack Plummer has so much room to operate. Sees KJ Hamler come open. It's a great job by Hamler of going up and getting that one. And what a boost. A guy that Anthony Beck, when we talked to him earlier this week, wasn't sure he was going to even play or be 100%. Already a couple big catches.
Well, here's Plummer now keeping it himself, and then smart to slide down at the 28-yard line.
And this is what Orlando needed, just to get in rhythm. Right? I mean, before this drive started, just 63 total yards in 10 plays through the first almost quarter and a half or so. They just need to get this offense in rhythm. Jack Plummer is one of the best when he has time to command everything pre-snap. Get the protection right, adjust the play if he needs to, get the ball out of his hands. As you see here, making an adjustment at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 7. Plummer. Inside the 10-yard line, Elijah Badger.
Boy, you see Badger working. This is such a great anticipation throw. The reason it's a little inside, because Plummer had to throw this like 2 full seconds before Elijah Badger came out of that break. That is a great anticipation throw by the league's best, Jack Plummer.
23-yard reception, and now it's 1st and goal, Orlando. Dotson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, tackled by Brandon Smith.
Boy, watch again how early Jack Plummer releases this ball as he goes. Badger's not even close to being out of his break. I mean, he's a full 2 steps. That's why that ball ends up being a little outside. He just had to throw it so early, but had to because of the pressure from Boogie Basham on the outside.
Hey, back. Good on. Take care. Take care. Rip. Here we go. Orlando, touch.
2nd and goal. Plummer looking for an option. Corner of the end zone, and a flag comes down. Elijah Badger was the target. Garrett Conley was the defensive back locked up with him.
Pass interference. Defense number 0. The foul was in the end zone. The ball was spotted at the 1-yard line where it's 1st down.
Yeah, DC plays a physical brand of man coverage. Connolly right here is just all over Badger. Again, I mentioned earlier, former 1st-round draft pick. Another guy that actually was retired and decided to roll the dice one more season. Came out of retirement late February, right before camp.
So after the penalty, I formation. And Dotson was tripped up and just had a surge ahead to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
Watch Sam Kidd, the safety.
Yeah, Kidd does a great job of getting low, just getting probably a fingertip on the cleats there of Dotson. This is where Orlando has struggled, being able to run the football low in the red zone when they need to punch it in.
2nd and goal. Big defensive lineman as the lead blocker for Dotson, who is wrestled back again. And they're claiming the ball came out is DC. And you saw Brandon Smith come away with the ball.
And you see Jack Plummer under center again. This is where I'd love to see Orlando put him in shotgun, because he's not immobile. He's a guy that can absolutely run the football, force the defense to at least account for his mobility on the backside, and maybe give you a numbers advantage on the front side, because right now DC is just a more physical team at the line of scrimmage.
DC defender is down at the end of the play. It's Derek Parrish, the defensive end, who had a sack last week against Orlando.
It is hot down there.
Progress.
Hot and humid.
All right. Well, I mean, that's good you made a quick decision. They haven't done that all year, but that's fine. I appreciate that, because we've been telling them, like, if you're going to stop forward progress, stop it. You know what I mean?
Once you get 2 or 3 players pushing them back, that's it. It's over.
All right. But was it there when the contact was made?
No.
I thought contact was made in the backfield.
No. Contact was where I was. That's why I stayed where I was.
Yeah.
I started going my whistle.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
It's Monique Washington having a conversation with Shannon Harris as he wanted the explanation as to why that wasn't a live ball that was recovered by his defense. The forward progress was stopped. So it's
polite.
3rd and goal. Extraordinarily polite for an official and head coach conversation.
Well, it's when the call's going your way, you're always very polite. And Plummer in shotgun here, empty formation.
3rd and goal. Plummer tried to shuffle it out to the side to Hamler, as he was the player who was coming in the jet motion, but then there was so much traffic in the pocket with Jack Plummer.
Yeah, they're trying for a little shovel pass to Chris Rowland right here. This is what they want to hit, but watch. I don't know who that was. Maybe it was Bishop, I think it was, or Brandon Smith, excuse me, that blew that one up, and Plummer just tried to get it late to KJ Hamler.
So now a 4th down.
Yeah.
Okay, you tell me.
Play clock under 10.
Boy, again, another empty formation.
Anthony Beck was waving for a timeout.
Was it a timeout, Jim?
He was coming down wanting it before.
Timeout.
Yep.
Yes.
Staying here.
Timeout, Orlando. They're second. 30 seconds.
So just over 3.5 minutes before halftime. The top seed in the UFL postseason, trailing by 8, facing a 4th and goal.
I don't hate a field goal here. I know things haven't been going Orlando's way, but you get a field goal, 5-point game. I understand the desire for points, but I like field goal in this position.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially since they're not really able to run the football down here or have a ton of confidence.
63 wide fade at Chevy.
Calling again, and you hear the play call from Colin Thompson. 63 is a pass protection, so they will be throwing the football here. F. Chevy is the tag. That's Chris Rowland to the left side of your screen. Right here.
4th and goal for Orlando. Plummer, 4th down, trying to extend the play, but one of the best there is takes him down. Derek Roberson with his 8th sack of the season now.
And we've talked Samuel on his heels, and then brings down his 8th sack of the season for the MVP finalist.
Flag is down as perhaps there was an Orlando player offside.
Well, I'm down here with D-Rob right now, so they've tried to chip you. They tried to W. That time they give you a one-on-one. You set them up to the outside, convert speed to power. How'd it work?
I mean, I see. So, like I said a couple weeks ago, soft tackle. I knew it was speed to power, so I just speed and bull rush the soft ass and got to the quarterback. Grabbed the quarterback by a horse collar. There ain't no horse collar in the pocket, so easy touchdown for me. I mean, easy tackle for me, man.
As opposed to the last 2 weeks, you guys have really seemed to eliminate the negative plays. How much does that change this football team?
I mean, they only been hitting on a couple plays, so if you eliminate those couple plays, man, we've been stomping their ass. Pass game and run game, so it's just DC football, man.
For you, from a one-on-one perspective, how important is it to have that big 48 on the opposite side?
Oh, man, it's a lot. It takes some of that pressure off me. Hey, yo, Mintz, welcome back, my boy. Welcome back.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Let's talk about Andre Mintz, who was just recently signed. Man, Derek Roberson, not too bashful about assessing the offensive lineman opposite him.
Hey, sometimes you see something on film and you're really confident. Not going to repeat what he says because I'm not going to do that to Samuel Jackson, but he felt that he could use the speed rush to set up a physical power rush, and on a 4th and 1, when DC needed it most, that's the biggest play of the game so far.
And now here's 3rd down and 1. After the turnover on downs, after that massive 4th down sack by Roberson, as Valde will move the chains. Tom?
Yeah, Tess, I'm here with the man of the hour, Andre Mintz. You're on a 2-week sabbatical from a real job, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So you're technically not here.
Not at all.
Yeah. What is it that's so hard to get the sport of football out of your blood, man?
Man, we've been playing this since I was 10 years old. It's in you, man. It's in your veins. I love to fly around, hit people with my teammates.
So you think the cat's out of the bag, being that we're on national television right now?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's all he's got to say, allegedly.
Hey, us Vandy guys are smart, Tom. We know if you got a chance to double dip, get a couple paychecks, might as well do it.
The story of Andre Mintz is outrageous. Listen, he's a great player in the UFL in recent years, including a year ago, and then he's working a business job in Baltimore. They call run, be the pass rusher. Make it to the United Bowl in D.C., the championship for the UFL. And the 4 seed, D.C., is up by 8 on the 1 seed, Orlando. Valladay with the carry here under 2 minutes before halftime, when we will hear from Zubin Mehenti and Roddy Jones.
This is where, if you're Jason Bean, you just got to reiterate to everybody, ball security. You'd be very happy to take this game into halftime up 14-6. Don't want to give Orlando cheap field position or an opportunity to get points on the board before half. They do receive the second half kick as well.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Pre-snap penalty. You see the regret on the face of Briley Moore, the tight end.
Game clock was 1:24.
Chris.
10-second runoff.
DC wants to let the runoff go. Take it.
False start.
Oh, yeah.
Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Second down. Please reset the game clock.
The penalty is going to be here, but I want you to watch Briley Moore, the tight end. If Lasoya doesn't flinch early, there is nobody. It is one-on-one with a safety. A foot race to the end zone. That would have been a massive play for DC.
Yeah, we got to call play. I know we got to call play. It was a big play.
Wow, and penalties.
Listen in to Jason Bean, the quarterback.
We got to run a play.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, penalties have kind of plagued this DC team.
Philly 47, Philly 47, Z cross, T post, Z cross, T post.
Hold on, Philly 47. Let's go! Yes. Yep. Are you ready? Go!
Here's Bean. And he gets it complete to Powell downfield. DC with 1 timeout remaining, 49 seconds before halftime.
Boy, watch Bean step up in the pocket, and he gets a great block from Trey Wettig, the right tackle, that just blows the defensive end out of the way, which allows him to escape to the right and find Cornell Powell, their #1 receiver. That shows a lot of trust that Fred Kais has in Jason Bean to call a pass play there, backed up, and take the risk. Paid off there.
Remember, just his 2nd start for DC after being traded mid-season. Bean downfield and waiting for it, and complete inside the 30-yard line is Braylon Sanders. And all of a sudden, DC goes from managing this towards halftime to potentially adding to their lead.
Yes.
Boy, you just can't do anything right against the mobility of Jason Bean. You rush too far to the outside, he steps up. You rush inside, he escapes right.
Half a minute before halftime, and he gets it complete again to Sanders.
Is it me, or does this feel like a different Jason Bean than what we saw last week?
Completely different Sam.
Playing with so much confidence and poise within the pocket.
As he clocks it here with 21 seconds remaining.
Boy, once again, if you rush inside, he's going to escape outside. And I highlighted it. The previous play, they rushed outside, and he was able to step up. Right now, Jason Bean just has an answer for everything Orlando's throwing at him. Kind of on his back foot. That's why he couldn't get a ton on that ball to Braylon Sanders, but just enough for the explosive play. Something they haven't had in a few weeks. Since Jordan Ta'amu, an MVP finalist, went down with an injury 3 weeks ago, this team has not been as explosive through the air, but Jason Bean starting to find his rhythm.
Officially, that's going to go down as an Orlando timeout. 21 seconds remain. DC still has a timeout. The #4 seed, the team that started red hot, lost their starting quarterback, lost 4 straight, now finding success with Jason Bean at quarterback, the former Kansas Jayhawk, who was traded from Louisville mid-season, against the best team in the league, the Orlando Storm.
outside zone. Watch.
Easy. Hey, 23. 23 left. 23 left.
Game clock being listed at 25 seconds till half. They're going to stick on the ground here with Valladay, who makes it down to the 5-yard line. Tackled by Jason Taylor.
Are you ready? Salute.
And they will clock it there.
Come on, ref. You just gave him one. You got to give us one soon. Come on now. You're moving with the movement. Man, that's all so. Yeah, swing.
Boy, just a great job here seeing 5 guys in the box. He audibled to 23, just an inside zone handoff. That is something we didn't see Jason Bean do last week. He didn't have the autonomy or the confidence to change things at the line of scrimmage. That time seeing Orlando's light in the box, let's audible to this easy run play, and now in striking range of a touchdown before half.
2nd and goal after clocking it. Bean just has to get rid of it. And it's incomplete. 12 seconds remain as Ty Scott was the intended receiver, but so much pressure on Jason Bean. 1 timeout remains. Keyshawn Banks was there defensively, applying the pressure. Anthony Beck trying to break through his regular season, looking to try to win a postseason championship.
You got to be careful here. Got to know where you're at on the field. You got a timeout left. Orlando gets the ball coming out of the locker room to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, this is going to be a boot. They're going to fake a run. I heard the term lasso, and Jason Bean should be keeping the ball in a boot with options downfield.
3rd and goal. Bean looking to the end zone. Now he's going to try. Oh, there it is! At the very last second, he finds Cornell Powell. A flag is down, cross field at the 7-yard line. Did he cross the line of scrimmage?
So we're going to back him up.
No, yeah.
He wasn't covered.
Okay. And it's going to be 4th. It's going to be 4th down. 3rd and goal or declines 4th and goal. No, they're going to play. They have to touchdown. Take it. Take it. Be quiet.
They're asking, was he beyond the line?
Boy, it's a boot. Watch initially as he gets outside right here. Watch Briley Moore wide open, doesn't see him. Ends up finding Powell, but a little too far downfield.
Or does he want 4th down?
Missed an opportunity to find his tight end for a touchdown.
Number 71 was not covered on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Also a formation issue with Jalen Duncan.
Well, they're going to send Matt McCrane out with 5 seconds remaining for the short field goal attempt. This just from 28. And it is no good. McCrane misses the 28-yard field goal attempt. Beat DC in back-to-back weeks, so the first instance of teams playing 3 straight games in UFL history. Here's Chris Rowland on the return. He is met at about the 33-yard line. First half stats presented by Progressive.
Yeah, kind of a slow start to this game for Orlando's offense, similar to what happened last week when this game was 10-9 at half. But DC has just been a better team. They've been moving the football on the ground. It's really been the playmaking ability outside the pocket of Jason Bean. Last week was about finding their quarterback for the playoffs. DC did that. Jason Bean looks like a different guy. Now it's time for the MVP to answer.
There's Jack Plummer, starting quarterback for Orlando. Oh, wow! An interception on play 1. Bryce Thompson. Bryce Thompson with a burst to jump on that opportunity.
No, it can't.
Boy, these are the things that just tell me Jack Plummer's a little off his game. This is a layup throw with Chris Rowland coming across the formation. He gets it high and a little bit behind him. That ball has got to be out in front of Chris Rowland so he can catch it and turn the corner. High and a little behind him makes it a tough catch. And off the deflection, Bryce Thompson all over it. And what did Tom just say? He said DC's got to find a way to get a turnover. And on the first play, they do it.
Yes, sir!
Shannon Harris, who talked a lot this week about understanding how to win in the postseason, about resetting things. Said everybody's record's the same now. It's what he's told his team all week long. And the defenders clearly buying into it. They are playing inspired. Bryce Thompson with the interception on the first play from scrimmage of this second half. And now Jason Bean back to business as he gets it to Moore, and Briley Moore up the sideline.
Tess, I got a chance to talk with Bryce Thompson before the game. He said that big-time players make big-time plays in games like these. He said he's going to put on a show. We saw it earlier in last week's game, and now today in this game, Bryce Thompson making another pack play.
He was a great defensive back in the SEC. Has the single-game school record at Tennessee with the Vols. He had 3 interceptions in a game for Tennessee once, and now a big interception to open up this second half. Jackson takes it ahead to the 14-yard line, tackled by Chris Garrett.
And Deion Jackson kind of having this slow start to this game. He averaged over 7 yards a carry in the first 2 matchups. Shannon Harris gave him a little break last week to get his legs under him. A slow start. Just 12 yards on 8 carries so far. This is where he's most important. In the red zone, where they went 2 for 6 last week. That was the story of the game. They got to get points down here.
Keep it on the ground with Jackson.
Well, down here with Bryce Thompson right now, hey man, Johnny on the spot. You're closing in on that flat route. What'd you see?
Man, see ball, go get ball. That's how we it's taught down here in the DB room. Tips, overthrows, that's ours.
Been tough to get interceptions.